Not seeing is believing. Hello, folks. Welcome back to our channel. This is Goosebumps Boy, your friendly neighborhood. And today we're going to be reviewing the book called My Best Friend is Invisible. My Best Friend is Invisible indeed. So this is number 57 from OG 62. Wow, the front cover really looks really funny to me. And I remember when I first saw it, I felt like this book sounds really like not spooky, kind of spooky in a way, but kind of funny as well. Like, look at this front cover. It's one of those front covers when I first saw the book that really used to make me laugh and think, what's this book about? Like, what's the big deal? Like, what's happening? Is this like a funny book? Is it like, is it some kind of a joke book? I didn't really know what to expect from it. Basically, what do we have? Uh, Basically, what we have is a scene taking place in a kitchen, and what we have is a pizza box, and there's a slice of pizza that is kind of floating in the middle of the room, in midair, in the middle of the room, and we have some drink there as well, and with a straw poked through this can of can't really tell what it is, but basically there's a cat right next to it, standing on the counter on its hind legs, and it's screaming. Right? It looks really scared. It looks really spooked. It looks really startled. And this cat looks really cute. It's orange and white, and yeah, with big green eyes, a white-eyed look in this cat's eyes, and it looks really good. And I like the fact that the color of the title of Goosebumps is orange, just like the cat. I like this kind of reflection. And pretty much everything is pink in there, right? The cabinets, like the kitchen, like everything, like the drawers, everything is pink, right? It's all pinkish, and you have some blue too. Like the counter is checkered blue and purple, and you have all kinds of stuff. You have the salt bottle, whatever it's called, and or some, I can't really tell what it is, but yeah, this basically looks pretty funny and hilarious to me. It looks hilarious, right? And this cat looks so cute, but at the same time, he looks very scared. He looks like he's seeing a ghost. No pun intended, because, you know, the story might as well be about an invisible ghost. Who knows? I don't know. Because of the cat's look in his eyes. But let's move on to the book itself. So, yeah, basically, we have our main character. His name is Sammy Jacobs, and he's having dinner with his family, and he has a brother named Simon, and what happens is that pretty much everybody in his family are into science, except for Sammy. He's more into science fiction, and his parents, who are scientists, are kind of, I'd say, not just, yeah, kind of disappointed by that. And what happens is that Sammy is gonna excuse himself and leave the dinner table at some point, and he's gonna go upstairs, and basically his best friend, named Roxanne Johnson, she's gonna come to his place to work with him on some science project. And basically, what happens is that Roxanne is gonna come, and they're gonna be working together, and they are thinking about doing their whole project on a hedge house, which is basically a house that is supposedly haunted. And I'll leave you with that. And it's located in Middletown. And Sammy basically doesn't believe that the house is haunted. He believes it's just a hoax. But Roxanne kind of, yeah, she kind of buys into that. But basically, they're gonna decide to work together and do it anyway. And then, as a matter of fact, Mr. Jacobs is gonna enter the room, and he's gonna have a flashlight that is known as a molecule detector light, and it's one of Mr. Jacobs' inventions, and it is supposedly it can see invisible things, and so it's pretty interesting and relevant as far as the story's concerned, and yeah, this is basically how the beginning is plays out. Then what happens is that Sammy goes to school the next day, and pretty much everything is going more or less, like any regular school day. I don't want to give too much away or anything, but basically, yeah, one thing is going to lead to another in this book. There's going to be some invisible thing that is, obviously involved. Invisibility is going to be the main concept of this book, actually, and there's going to be that invisible force. And what happens is when Sammy is called to basically to walk up to the front of the room in math class to solve an equation on the board, on the chalkboard. What happens is he's going to be able to do it properly, and we don't really know what it is, and yeah, we don't know what that entity is. Is it friend or foe? We don't really know. But basically, Sammy's gonna go home after that, and he's gonna hear noises coming from the kitchen, and then he's gonna see a slice of pizza floating in the air, and then Sammy's mother's gonna enter the kitchen, and she's gonna think that it's Sammy who's doing the whole thing, and she's gonna be scolding him, and then he's gonna go, basically this is pretty much the front cover of the book happening with basically Sammy's cat named Brutus, I'd say, Brutus, maybe Brutus, I would say, and basically he's standing up and screaming in a comical way, and it's pretty much like the fart cover, to go back to, is kind of like a comedy, now that I think about it. But yeah, basically it's pretty much as much as the front cover is concerned when it comes to the story itself. And basically Sammy is gonna go to clean up his room after that, and yeah, that's then what happens afterwards, that Sammy's gonna find out that his house has been completely trashed, and there's a lot of junk in his room, cereal boxes, empty food containers, and crushed juice boxes all over the bedroom, according to the Goosebumps fandom website. And then he's gonna hear a voice, right, coming from his bedroom, and it turns out to be basically somebody named Brent Green, who's an invisible boy. And apparently, this Brent character wants to be Sammy's best friend. And he's going to ask Sammy's going to ask Brent a few questions. And then Roxanne is going to show up in his room. And and then Sammy's going to try to tell her about this, but then she's gonna believe that he's pulling her leg. There's just some kind of a joke he's pulling on her. Then on the next day, the following day, she's gonna tell everyone at school about his invisible friend. And then so everybody's making fun of him because of that. Everybody's laughing at him. Everybody is just, basically being mean to him on because of that. Because everybody thinks that, he's gone completely crazy. That, it's kind of funny in a way, but it's kind of mean too for a best friend to be doing that. And then later on, Sammy and Roxanne are gonna get ready for some kind of a relay race. And Brent's voice is gonna be heard once again. And something is gonna happen. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but it's gonna take place during a race. And something is gonna happen, obviously. I don't wanna tell you what it is. Then on Saturday, which is a day, afterwards, I believe, a few days afterwards, after what happened, what I just read to you right now, Sammy and Roxanne are gonna be going to Hedge House and basically working on their English report, and they're gonna go inside the house. They're gonna explore, and they're gonna basically hear some startling, ghostly noises according to the website. They're gonna go upstairs, and they're gonna see some furniture, kind of, floating a little bit, and they assume that it is a ghost, and this is going to be kind of scary. I'm not going to tell you what happens exactly, but this little adventure there's in Hedge House, at Hedge House, is going to it's going to be the main, like, twist of the book, I would say. And, something is going to happen, and, this is basically the main thing. The main reveal is gonna be kind of there, right there in this house, in Hedge House, which is pretty. I love this name. Hedge House has a nice ring to it. I believe there's a Netflix series that's called this, or is it Hill House? The Netflix series doesn't matter. It's not relevant to this book. But basically, then, Sammy is gonna. Sorry about that. Sammy is gonna grab his father's molecule detector light. Like I said, it's gonna be relevant to the story as well. And there's gonna be this big kind of thing. And then you're gonna be able to tell that, everything kind of, it takes you by surprise, but there's the final twist that I believe was pretty good and pretty weird at the same time. But that's pretty much it for My Best Friend is Invisible. I don't want to spoil anything any further, but so I'll stop right there with this Goosebumps book. So, what did I think about this book? I do believe that My Best Friend is Invisible. It's one of those books, possibly because of the comical front cover. It doesn't get any, it gets acknowledged a little bit, but barely. Yeah, I gotta admit, sorry about that. My voice keeps cracking for some reason. But this book, what is it about? Did I like it? Sorry, did I like it or not? I believe that this book was pretty good. Now, it's my favorite Goosebumps book. It's kind of a ghost story. It is a ghost story. So it's a ghost story, because you were wondering. But at the same time, it's kind of funny too. It's kind of comical. It's kind of, it doesn't take itself very seriously. It has mixed elements of being scary and being funny at the same time. And I do like this combo. I do believe that it works pretty well and works in favor of the book. Yeah, the book itself is a nice read, to be honest with you. I really liked it. I had a lot of fun reading it. It makes perfect sense. It reads so nicely, so smoothly. I gotta admit, I had so much fun reading this book. It's not my favorite kind of Goosebumps book when it comes to Goosebumps. Like, it's not very scary. It's not terrifying, even though it's about a ghost. But it plays more on the funny, on the funny side of Goosebumps. That makes sense, right? It's nothing like the previous books that were more scary. No, this one is kind of fun, to be honest with you. Even you can tell from looking at the cat, right? And Brent, who is basically Sammy's invisible friend, is going to turn out to be cool, to be honest with you. But yeah, there's this big twist that's revealed at Hedge House. It's going to be revealed. And yeah, it's something alright, but I don't want to spoil the book in any shape or form. So, but yeah, this book was pretty good, in my opinion. And I had so much fun reading it. And I would like to mention that if you were wondering if you should read it or not, I would definitely advise you to do what you believe is like right. Because this book is fun. It's a lot of fun, to be honest, and I believe that you'll like it a lot. I did. And the main characters are pretty cool. Sammy is pretty cool. And his best friend, Roxanne, she's pretty cool as well. And Brenda's cool too. The cat, I don't know if there's there are a lot of things being said about the cat Brutus, but in any case, it's pretty good. This whole book was pretty nice to read through. So if I were to give this book a rating, I think I would give it an 8 out of 10. And yeah, 8 out of 10 for this book. It's not really like any other Goosebumps book I've read, but I'm glad I read it and I had a nice positive experience reading it. So if I were to give this book a rating, I would give it 8 out of 10. So yeah, that's pretty much it for that review. The rating is 8 out of 10 for My Best Friend is Invisible for me. What about you folks? What did you think about My Best Friend is Invisible? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comment section down below. I really can't wait to hear about your views on it. We don't get to hear a lot about it for some reason, so if you could let me know, that would be very cool. And I'll see you in the next review. And thank you so much for watching. And yeah, if I could say one last thing maybe, is that don't get fooled by the front cover. Just read this book and find out for yourselves whether it is worth a read or not. But I can tell you right now, it is definitely a nice read, and it is worth it to be totally fair. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next review. Goodbye, take care. This whole channel, aka Goosebumps Boy for you, signing off. And now I'm going to be reading the summary. He's out of sight, for real. Sammy Jacobs is into ghosts and science fiction. Not exactly the smartest hobby. At least, not if you ask Sammy's parents. They're research scientists, and they only believe in real science. But now Sammy's met someone who's totally unreal. He's hanging out in Sammy's room and eating his cereal at breakfast. Sammy's got to find a way to get rid of his new friend. Only problem is, Sammy's new friend is invisible.